There's no funerals for this. Like, no flowers, nobody checking up on you. The person is still in your phone, still alive, still the same, but the connection is just gone, like dead. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Becoming Herrss channel. I am Jakayla. So this video today is going to be a little bit different from the last video I created about, I think it was about people who weren't good for me, and I was like surrounding myself with people because I didn't want to be alone. But people had me and I had no one. This video isn't about that. This is about people who did nothing wrong. People I genuinely do love. We just grew in different directions. And I have to grieve that. You have to grieve that. And this isn't even like a one situation. It's multiple, showing up in different ways for different people in different situations. So we're going to notice it, name it, nurture and navigate it. Starting with notice it. Outgrowing somebody doesn't usually happen with like this big ass fight. It doesn't happen in a dramatic moment sometimes. Sometimes it happens quiet. Sometimes you just drift apart. You just notice like you don't speak the same language no more. You just notice you don't have the same things in common. For me, it shows up on the phone. Catching up, kicking it. And then like I used to have conversations with friends and like I would say, let me say this. When I was, how would I say this? It's like me and a homegirl, like we'll call each other like after a period of time, we just catching up, kicking it. And somebody gets brought up, like somebody else in a negative way. Talking about like what they're doing, what they lying about, whatever it is. You know how like that go when you girl talking, you gossiping, you talking about everybody's business. But there be moments where I just didn't want to talk about anybody else's like drama anymore, anybody else's life. I used to feed into it, I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, I fed into it. I was just like, this is tea. But somewhere in like my healing journey, focusing on myself, I stopped wanting to like negatively speak on other people because you actually don't know what somebody's dealing with behind closed doors. I went through a lot of my own shit, my own depression, went to, suicidal ideation, family being homeless. If people could have judged me during all of that, it probably would have broken me worse because I was in such a fragile state. So I try not to judge anybody now because I know what that feels like, just to judge people you really don't know or you don't really have connection with. And I noticed the discomfort, like when I'm on these calls and I had to sit with it and not judge it. I used to feel so drained after those calls. And I'm just like, hey, I don't want to talk about this person. And the person just like, why don't you want to do this? Like, we used to do this. It's like, and I explain my reason, like, hey, people got different things going on in life. I have different things going on in my life. I don't want to gossip on the phone about people. I know girls have girl talk, but it's so many things to talk about. Life, like goals, aspirations. Girl, let's go take a trip. Calling me or me calling you to talk shit about somebody we don't really talk to or we don't really know in life that well is not something beneficial. And I've always gotten like a weird response like, okay, girl, well, I'm gonna talk to you later. And it's just like, that was the sign. And then so we name it. A lot of us misname the feeling. We call ourselves distant, cold, or a bad friend. We take on guilt instead of just naming what actually is happening. It also shows up in like the smallest things. Like, I'm 27 now. I don't drink. I don't really party. I'm not going to clubs. My focus is really stability, building generational wealth, healing, actually making good memories. And I feel like sometimes people used to try to force me and stuff anyways when I said no. I used to call it lame or just like, just do it, Kayla, just do it. And I just be like, no, like, I'm not really interested in it. Like I said, I don't shame people for anything they do in life. When I was younger, early 20s, I used to go to college parties. I used to have fun, but I'm just like, I'm 27. I do want a lot more for myself. Especially since like where I come from, living in very unfavorable situations, generational trauma, no generational wealth. Everybody in my family has not succeeded past a certain point. And I really want more for myself. So when it's like, these places don't make me happy, I'm not lying to y'all. Like, I don't. Like, I'll come to, like, we'll have a girls' day in my house, drink, have fun, play some games. But, like, me being in the club did not make me happy. And a lot of time I used to feel bad, like, maybe I am lame. Maybe I'm not. fun to be around, but a lot of times it's just misalignment, plain and simple. Separate the love from the alignment. I love these people deeply, and I've outgrown the version of me that used to function in these spaces. That doesn't make me a bad person. That wouldn't make you a bad person. It makes us somebody growing. Feeling the grief of two people no longer matching up the way that they used to. So we nurture it. It's not just friends, it's family too. Somebody will ask you for something and you say no, and it's instant, like, they don't respect your boundaries. Some family members will keep asking even though you already said no. They'll keep asking, trying to wear you down till you change your answer. And for me, that is the most disrespectful thing ever. If I say no the first time, why are you back here asking again? That means you have no respect for me, in my opinion. Nurturing the loneliness instead of trying to reason your way out of it. You're allowed to grieve endings, even the ones you choose. You can love somebody and still know like you're not going back to the version of yourself that required you to string or be talked down upon or be small or engage in certain activities. You can still have that healthy connection between the both. You navigate it. Navigating this means accepting that lonely in between part. You've left the old room, but the new one hasn't shown up yet. You have to be okay with people misunderstanding you when you are on a journey to healing. I feel like because a lot of people don't heal and a lot of people are very okay in situations, and that's fine, that you healing would be a foreign concept to them and they will not respect it. Some people will respect it, but from a distance. Some people will actually be like, my girl's doing a thing, let me support her. But people will misunderstand you a lot, and they will also create narratives about you. Oh, she thinks she's better than, or she's this, she's that. When they can't control the narrative, when they can't change who you are, they cannot break what you stand on, they start to spread hate, they start to spread lies, they start to try to speak down on you. I'm okay with people misunderstanding me. I couldn't quite I don't give a fuck. Because I spent my life always having to defend myself. While I feel like this, why I'm saying this, why I'm doing this, like why is my no, why can't I do this? I just can't care. Navigating means you stop needing them to understand, or you stop needing closure for them at all. Let them think you changed. Let them think you're lame. Let them think whatever they need to think. You choose the lonely, necessary, in-between part, because you can't meet people waiting for who you're becoming while you're still stuck in old rooms. It is okay to change. It is okay to evolve. It's okay to lose people. I know that sometimes we want to keep the people that we love in our life, but sometimes it's just not beneficial. There's a lot of people I would have loved to still be cool with, but because like I started to have boundaries and I'm starting to say, no, you know what? I'm not interested in that, but girl, like we can hang out another time. Like let's come to like a common ground where we can do something. And it just like, you know what? Never mind, it's fine. And it just be that, and will never be a conversation again. I'm just like, I accept it for what it is. It is okay to grieve the loss of people that are still alive. And that's also a hard thing. It's just like, you love these people. Like I love my family dearly, but I know that if I stayed participating in a lot of shit that my family does, I would be in prison. I would be in jail. I would be so far back, I probably wouldn't have went to college. I probably wouldn't have done a lot of things. So I am very grateful for myself for a lot of things that I have been like very strong-minded about, because a lot of people in my family don't go to college. A lot of people in my family are in that type of lifestyle. And it's nothing wrong with it. I don't judge. I love them very much. But it's just like sometimes you want different. I'm seeing how it's continuously playing out and how it's like shaping everybody's life, and just like I don't want to continuously contribute to generational trauma, and that's for everybody. Every woman out there, especially a black woman, like growing up in a historically black family that has the same type of generational trauma, our families will never understand us when we start to do what it's not normally done in our families. When you start to heal, you start to understand and change the way you speak to yourself, change the boundaries you have, start saying no, start standing on business for yourself, they will misunderstand you. Same thing with friends. When friends are so used to your compliance to anything, and then one day you just up and change and you don't comply like you used to, they will try to make you out to be the villain in every front. She's better than, or she thinks she's this, she thinks she's that. People will love you when you are doing the worship, but when you are trying to do something positive, when you're trying to make a change, or you're trying to change the narrative, you will get the most hate. And I'm so sad that it's like that, because it's just weird to me. You would rather see me out here in the streets fighting, going to jail, doing X, Y, and Z, instead of changing and healing, trying to do what's best for me. I don't like that. Same thing with when it comes down to dating. Though a lot of women in my family, they grew up in an older time, like a very older time. The older time, like having a piece of a man is better than having no man. They have that understanding. So it's just like a man can do X, Y, and Z under the sun, moon, and stars, and they will stay, because it's like, you know, at that time, I believe, like, you don't get a divorce regardless of anything, and they carry it to now. Though times have changed, they still carry it to now. And like, I'm breaking that. I've been single for a long time. My family be like, girl, when you get in a man, da 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 da. I don't center my being around a man. Men are annoying as shit. And also, I really enjoy, like, this time of my life being alone. Also, not tolerating the shit from a person I'm dating just so I can have the ability to say, like, I have somebody at the end of the day still. Don't matter what they do or how they doing it or what they doing outside, they still come home to me. That's dumb. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But, so, it's basically changing the narrative, changing the lens, changing the blueprint written for your lineage, for your family. You don't have to be what everybody wants you to be just to be you. You be you unapologetically, fiercely, beautifully. And if people love you, they will see you, they will acknowledge you, and they will respect it. I know a lot of people will rather stay like, you know what, I want to keep this friend, so I'll betray myself. But ask yourself, will they do the same to keep you around? Because most people will not. So comment below if there's someone you've had to grieve while they're still alive, a relationship you had to grieve while the person is still here. Also, make sure you make sure you download the free 4M method guide, link down below in the bio, description.